And now back to our top story, and the government has announced a drought package worth more than $700 million to boost struggling farmers as well as rural businesses. Michael Guerin is the CEO at AgForce Queensland, and he joins me now via Skype from Junda in Queensland. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
Is this package what your members have been asking for?
This package provides a lot of what our members have been asking for. We're in a drought that has lasted a number of years and we don't know when it will rain again, but we do know a couple of things. Firstly, the agriculture industry has and will contribute enormously to Australia, providing jobs and career opportunities for young people and economic activity in small regional communities. What we need out here and what the federal government has announced further assistance for today is hope and support as we work our way through it as a continuing and dynamically unfolding situation. So to have further support that holds communities together, that provides support not only for graziers and farmers but for small businesses in the towns is incredibly helpful, because those small businesses hold those communities together, and if those communities die, we won't get them back. So incredibly helpful, and an ongoing example of the federal government working in a dynamic and consultative way with industry to think about this drought as it continues to unfold. And as I said, we don't know when it will rain again.
So do you think these cheap loans, the principal part of this drought assistance package, will make sure that people on the land can continue their operations until it rains?
What I can tell you is people in regional and rural communities are incredibly resilient, incredibly proud of their industry, incredibly proud of their communities. Giving them some modest financial support and help, and for them to know further assistance will be there down the track if it continues not to rain, makes the difference between communities staying together, young people entering the industry with confidence and the alternative. So it's incredibly important, it's very powerful, and agriculture has been the backbone of Australia for many years and will continue to do so. And to give that confidence to communities, that confidence to young people, that confidence to families will better ensure that remains the case for many years to come.
The National Farmers Federation had wanted the federal government to consider assisting farmers and producers who just couldn't take it anymore, assist them to get off the land. Are you disappointed that that hasn't come to pass?
There are many elements to supporting this drought. I remember the Prime Minister up north in the floods earlier this year saying, please don't allow me to fail quickly. What we're doing through the National Farmers Federation and directly is working with government across a large number of elements which we believe are important to supporting communities and supporting families through this drought. In any one iteration, we don't get them all up, and the government continues to work with and learn from industry and communities and be dynamic in its response. So some things we've asked for haven't come up today, others have, but we have an incredibly supportive federal government who continues to work with industry and work with communities and care, and that's the important part, or the most important part for us.
You just said that you wanted the government to be dynamic in its response. I want to ask what you make of the redirection of water from the Murray River for fodder production. How far do you think that will go? And is that the type of thinking you would like to see from the federal government as rural Australia battles with this ongoing drought?
Water is an incredibly valuable resource, and not only critical for farming families, it's critical for communities, because if families and communities don't have water, they can't actually survive. We live in an enormous landscape. Australia is the size of Europe. It's the driest landscape in the globe. What we need is a water plan across the nation and working our way through that plan. And if there's one frustration, particularly for us in Queensland at the moment, it is the lack of a state-placed water plan which we stick to, which is bipartisan, and we can walk our way through. It has been many years since we've built a new dam in Queensland. We've had many case studies, reviews, further reviews, but we have not had that water infrastructure built. The Murray-Darling Basin that you talk of is another subject, but what's important to recognise is that water is an incredibly valuable resource. We have a large continent, an ability to build an even stronger industry to support food production, not only for us domestically, which we take for granted these days, but also for export and to create jobs and careers.
And so just on that specific question of what the government has done here, taking water from people in Adelaide to produce fodder for crops on dry land, what do you make of that? And would you like to see more, perhaps innovative solutions like that one?
We are looking to drive innovation through our whole industry, and water is a great example of it. Innovation starts with good planning. Innovation starts with using the latest science, learning from our universities and our world-class scientific and research system, and applying those learnings dynamically. The science is never settled because we continue to learn, we continue to research, we continue to lead the world in a number of these things. So to be always taking those lessons, applying them back, thinking innovatively, that is what innovation is about, and that is what industry is crying out for at the moment, and indeed in Queensland's case has been for a number of years.
And have you heard much reaction to the government's decision to allocate funds to help keep kids in boarding schools and also extend some extra childcare options to younger ones in town? Is that the kind of support that families need, given all of the other stresses that they're currently enduring?
Absolutely. One of the most exciting things about today's package is the federal government continuing to recognise the importance of the family unit and supporting the family unit. Education for young people holds those families together, holds that education system together in regional communities, and allows families to keep children in local schools and continue their development, even through these tough times when it otherwise might be hard to do so. We talked about innovation a minute ago. Education, teaching our children young, building that infrastructure is one of the most critical things alongside water, which we've just talked about, to hold those communities together. And again, to allow this great industry, which contributes so much to Australia and can do so going forward, to stay together with confidence.
Michael Guerin, terrific to speak to you this afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you.